have 18 states legalized in the United States. That's almost half. And if, as we're here now for North Carolina, you know, we could be the 24th, 25th. It may not be the first one today. This may not happen today, but we're working on it. I mean, we're here, we're gathered, you know, we're coming, and it's a moving process. This is a movement. You know, this is a part of a movement that you read about. You know, that things, prohibition and stuff like that. That's something that goes on now. You know, and we're patients. We're not criminals. We need this.
If you're smoking cannabis and you go to the doctor and they test you, they cut off all your drugs. That is a law. I had to quit smoking and now I can't sleep. And I have to take more drugs, which is going to hurt my liver or hurt my stomach. That's it. Thank y'all.
My name's Ty Heggie. I'm a service-connected disabled veteran from the Army. Was injured in 1987, have had chronic back pain ever since. Being a veteran causes some additional problems that the normal citizen has. They had me on fentanyl patches, and I was able to get down to morphine patches. But according to the veteran, or the VA, if you test positive for any illicit drug, they do not give you any pain medication because you're a drug addict. So for fear of you abusing the drugs that they give you, you cannot smoke marijuana. I've managed to survive on Vicodin. If you take Vicodin or anything less than that, they don't test you. But about a year and a half ago, I went on vacation, and while I was gone, someone broke into my house. The neighbor saw the window broken and the back door open, so they called the police. They came in my house and found I had marijuana. It cost me about $12,000 in attorney's fees, bail, and taxes for having marijuana. So I just really hope that something can be done so that people can get the relief that they need and not be treated as criminals, or in my case, made as criminals. 43 years, I never had anything more than a speeding ticket. And you know, now I have a misdemeanor criminal record because of a lot of money spent on attorneys. Could have been really bad. I could have been taken from my family, locked up, and lost everything. Thank you.
I think we should make it legal because it's medicine. Thousands of years of use has shown that it is medicine. It heals. I'm here today because my daughter has a catastrophic form of epilepsy. It is a severely debilitating condition. I have learned over the past year and a half that children with her condition, their lives are changing. They are using medical cannabis, and they are able to get safe access of this, and they are developing strains that are non-psychoactive. My daughter is taking up to 5 Valium a day to control her seizures. Her condition is debilitating on its own. It is catastrophic on its own. And the medication that they are giving her is also very debilitating. And I'm here to ask for compassion and sensitivity to enable her to have safe access. And I think that it should be available to anyone who could benefit from its use. Thank you.
Actually, my girlfriend just passed away December 4th of 2012 from Hodgkin's and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Recurred twice, and we use medical cannabis regularly. It helped her a lot. You know, the doctors knew about it. You know, they asked us from the get-go. You know, do you use marijuana? And of course, you know, we said yes, and it helps.
March through August 4th of last year, I was in the hospital, unable to eat, unable to sleep, unable to drink. I had tubes coming from everywhere in desperate mode. 3 weeks prior to going in the hospital, I slept on the floor in my bathroom for 3 weeks just so I can make it to the bathroom to be able to throw up. Once I got into the hospital, they were sure that I wasn't gonna make it. My kidneys started failing, my liver started failing, and I went into heart failure. When I was finally released, I was so desperate that I called a friend and said, you know what, I've never smoked, not even a cigarette in my life. I've never been in trouble, not so much as had a ticket, but I was desperate to live. So I said, I need something, anything. That night I smoked for the very first time at 38 years old. And that night I was able to sleep in my bed. I was able to eat something solid for the first time in almost 5 months. And I stand here today taking 16 different medications every single day, reaching out to the people that we elected into office to look out for us, saying it's time for a change, that we deserve better, that just living is not enough, that we need to be able to live our life and enjoy it, and that whatever it takes, we need to make it happen. No, we are not potheads, we are not junkies, we are people who contribute to society, who pay our taxes, and who deserve to get the help that we need. So if they're not willing to help us, we elected them, let's get them out of office.
My son, he was diagnosed with ALL leukemia in November of 2011. Lots of people think that it's just smoking cannabis that can help, but however, edibles are also a great cure for nausea. If parents can have the choice to give their children something other than all the chemicals he had to ingest, I know it's just a couple things that he would be relieved of taking, but that's one less medicine he has to take.
Yeah.
Why not a plant instead of something made in a laboratory?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Kelly, and when I was 24, just as I was starting my senior year in college, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. I had just incapacitating nerve pain, horrible symptoms. I was told by a doctor that I should probably just go on disability, stop working, but I decided to continue my education. I was in California when I was diagnosed, thankfully, and I don't know how I would have made it through that first year otherwise. My symptoms were so severe, I started taking interferon, disease-modifying medication, and that gave so many side effects in itself. I was so nauseated that I couldn't eat without using cannabis. My doctor tried to prescribe me to all sorts of other things that made it a lot more difficult for me to function. I found that I was able to use cannabis and still remain effective. I got excellent grades in school, I graduated, and I went on to further education. Now I own my own business, I help other people with their health, and I am not a criminal, I am not a pothead. And so many people out there are more sick than I ever was. People are dying, and they don't have access to this miracle plant that could help them to eat, that could just improve their quality of life so much. And it's just really time for this to be addressed here. We can open the floodgates to the south in North Carolina, so let's do it.
Yeah.
The simple fact of the matter is we've got far more dangerous substances on the market that have far less medicinal value, but we've got people that are being sent to jail and having their lives ruined
because they're doing something that's less dangerous than drinking a shot at the bar. And I just don't understand why people will say that it's not a big issue and say that it doesn't matter and it's just a bunch of stoners and who cares when people's lives are being ruined. It's not just that you spend a little time in county jail. It's not just that, you know, you had to spend a night at the courthouse. When you've got that on your record, it lasts. It doesn't go away, and it can hurt your ability to get work. It can hurt your ability to get money for school. How can people have a better life when they've got this on their record?
I'm just here representing the veterans and civilians alike, but mostly veterans for today. As the gentleman said earlier, he was having problems after he got back from his tours with chronic back pain, and it's been proven to be effective against PTSD, chronic pain, breathing conditions, a whole slew of things, without all the negative side effects of the popular pain pills. And I would just like for my brothers and sisters in arms to be able to have some relief and finally get the help that they need and not have to spend an arm and a leg on it, and also not get all the negative side effects. I'm also here for my girlfriend today, even though she's not in the service, but she has fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, and some anxiety-related conditions, all which have proven to be affected by cannabis positive. So I'm here for her too.
Mother Nature got it right. A bunch of greedy politicians for the last 80 years, they don't got it right. Go natural. I mean, it's the only way to go.
But it is a proven fact that marijuana helps reduce inflammation in the brain. And it is a fact that marijuana helps reduce the side effects of chemotherapy. And it is a fact that marijuana helps cure cancer so that you don't even have to do chemotherapy.
My buddy's dad got lung cancer. About 3 months after he got diagnosed, he died from the radiation burning his lungs. Not the cancer, the treatment killed him.
And guess what? It's not just about smoke. Everyone talks about how the smoke's unhealthy. Guess what? We don't need that anymore. There are vaporizers, there are bubblers, there are edibles. Marijuana is a versatile plant that will not only help us medicinally, it will help us economically, and it will help us spiritually. So if anybody in this nation has a single reason why it should be illegal, I dare them to speak up.
I'm 34 years old. I've had 4 heart attacks. I'm a survivor, okay? I have things like coronary artery disease. I have congestive heart failure. I have hypertension. I take all kinds of medicines for these things. And I see some of the best, I would say maybe the best doctors at Duke University here. And they're well aware that I use cannabis on a daily basis. And they only say one thing, because I might have to go on a heart transplant list. That's coming up. And right now, because of the law, they said, you know what, Stephen? What you're doing right now is fine, but if it comes time for you to get on a heart transplant list, you're going to have to quit because that's the law. So that's kind of what I'm facing. I'm going through some things with my eyes, diabetic retinopathy. I'm also, being watched very closely for glaucoma. I believe cannabis is prolonging the negative effects of those things going on with my eyes. So I'm just glad to see everyone here, everyone kind of in the same. We're glad you're here! Tomorrow is not promised, so do everything you can today, and I'm glad to see we're all here for the same thing.
I had a tumor on my adrenal, also had it removed, had a kidney removed. This is about 10 years ago. I was uneducated. I didn't know nothing about cannabis would do all this. I am now educated. I have had surgeries on both my legs, chronic pain I need this. We need all the support we can get for this. If nature is illegal, we have no freedom. And I'm going to turn it over to someone else.